Hey, what's up, Csgoroll degens? Today we're back with an update video for my 2022 withdrawal guide. I made it quite a while ago, and I also made one in 2021 as well, I believe. I wanted to come in since there is, a new withdrawal marketplace and kind of make an update to the old video because some things have changed and some things are relevant, some things aren't. So I just wanted to make sure that I made the right video for the right kind of people and that my information was as accurate and up to date as possible. I do want to say though, if you guys find these videos useful at all and you want to support me, it does mean a lot. It takes a lot of time to make these videos. I, have to script them out, have to, make sure that I'm thorough in my research and provide correct and accurate information. So with that being said, if you guys want to try the site out for free, you guys can head on up to rewards in the upper middle bar. Go ahead, enter the code AG5. That will get you a 5% bonus on all deposits, as well as it'll get you 3 free cases, just like this. Different, but just like this. You can open them up that way. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope this video serves you well, and I will have chapters down in the description so you can skip around as you'd please. So today I'm going to be kind of covering in the same style that I did about a year ago. I'm going to be covering the 3 most common player types on Csgoroll, and I'm going to try and make information accurate to them. So I do have your average player, I do have your trader, and then I do have your item flipper. I do want to say that in terms of the item flipper, that this is purely within the Csgoroll ecosystem. I'm not promoting any outside sites or any other third-party real-world trade, cash for skins kind of websites or anything like that. I believe that Csgoroll is, in my opinion, one of the best gambling sites out there. It has its flaws as any other does, but it is good because people follow the rules for the most part, and we have a really good supportive player base that keeps the withdrawal pretty full on most occasions. So thank you to everyone. If you are watching and you are a trader and you contribute skins, I appreciate it greatly. And yeah, let's get into the first player. So starting it off with your average player, my first tip to any of you guys involved in that is make sure to pay attention to your markup. Always start from the bottom. You see this case, okay, low percent, nothing's in 0, so you hop up to 2, nothing in 2%, you try 5, 7, okay, maybe it's not in your budget, so you move up again, but always be mindful of your percentages because they will make or break your trades. They really will. So just be mindful of that. Pay attention because sometimes those percentages can really just kill your profit margins and can make your trade times be so much longer and so much more painful. Also, another tool that's very helpful, we'll remove the filter, is the best deals on the order by, because this will show you in order or descending lowest to highest. So this is the lowest percent, and then all the way at the bottom here is where your higher percents exist. So try and use this where you can, because this will tell you low percent, high percent, and best deals overall. An easy way to watch your feeds to look for items that may be a worthy investment. My last piece of information for your average player is pay attention to the symbol that's in the upper right, because that is another thing. If you want to withdraw something that you're not sure you're going to keep forever and you may want to trade, try and avoid these unstable items because I'm not sure what stipulates them being unstable, but their price on them moves enough that it is a cause for concern. It is something to pay attention to. So just keep that in mind because, once again, that's something that can make or break the profit margin on a trade or just the difference between getting your money back out of it or not. So make sure to pay close attention to that. And do keep in mind that I don't mean that every item with this little exclamation mark is not a good item. It is both up and down on the unstable. It can both go up and down in price. So these higher end items more likely will go up in price, but that warning's there to tell you that they can also do the opposite. So just keep that in mind. The next kind of player that I want to cover is the trader. Not as many of you are traders on Roll, but there are still some traders out there. Number one thing you want to pay attention to always is your markup percentage. Always. Can't say that enough. Can't stress that enough. Always start from the bottom. Always go up. It's much more important that you do it more than any of the other 2 types of people. It will certainly be the difference between making good profit and not making any at all. So please pay attention because it will make a difference. My next tip of advice is, it's a difficult one. It's difficult for me, and I'm sure it's difficult for many of you. Be patient. Be very patient. Wait for that optimal item. You know that your autotronics sell very well. Your non-stat track autotronics sell very well. And you know that your blazes sell very well. But this cold-blooded is the only thing that you see. Okay? It's not optimal in any way, shape, or form, because if you look at it, you can see that it has a 1,500% markup percentage. And that is not optimal at all, because the only place that it retains its value is here on Csgoroll. If you were to try and go sell it on the Steam Marketplace, sure, you could put it for a higher price because of the stickers on it. Not saying that you couldn't, but it would be less likely to sell. It'd be far less likely to sell versus all the other people who are just selling factory new cold-blooded. So keep your eyes out for the items that are more worth something because of the item that they are, not the stickers that are on them, because it can really make things difficult at the end of the day. If you're just trying to get your money out or you're trying to trade, these items that have even this case hardened with 300% markup would be a hard item to flip. And that's from my experience in trading. I've been doing it for a few years now, on and off. Stickers that make an item expensive aren't necessarily what makes the item worth its value. So pay good attention to that. And my last tip for the trader, or one of my last tips for the trader, is try not to trade items less than 10 coins unless you're trading them in bulk. Often they can take a while to trade if it's not something that people are interested in, but additionally, you're not making much of a profit margin on them at all. I mean, with 12% on a 10 coin item, you're making a coin 20. So me personally, I value my time greatly because I do run a YouTube channel and I also trade and I also do all these other things and I have a life. So for me personally, and for my recommendation to you guys, try to avoid trading under 10-cent coins. And my very last tip, I promise, my very last tip for the trader is avoid stickers, like straight up just stickers, and avoid not case hardened, avoid stat track knives as much as you can. They really do not trade or sell well at all, and I speak from experience once again there. They do not trade or sell well at all, so try to avoid them because you might just regret grabbing them when you are waiting a week to sell them. So be careful, and this doesn't apply to everything. Stat track is good on skins, but definitely try and avoid them on knives if you can, because some people are very particular, and if you're a buff trader and have experience with buff, stat track knives do not sell well at all. So just keep that in mind. Try and avoid it if you can, but hey, if you're trying to get your funds out, no one's going to blame you for it. The last kind of person/player I kind of want to cover in the Csgoroll space is the item flipper, someone who, maybe wants to just deposit coins but not gamble, and then they just want to take items and they want to either put them on the Steam Marketplace and flip them, or, what have you. I don't really item flip, so I can't really speak as an insider of that kind of practice, but make sure that you stay on Csgoroll. Like I said, it protects the ecosystem. It protects the ability to be able to come on here, trade, make profit, on skins and get more skins. And you don't have to start with much. So my only really big piece of advice is please just protect the ecosystem, take care of it, especially with recent events that have happened. Obviously, the suppliers program was not a great idea, but we all learned how that went. So yeah, that's my main piece of advice there. Pay attention to your percentages. That's very, very important with an item flipper. Once again, don't get that plus 106,000% Blood Tiger just because it has hollow stickers on it, because it's not worth it. You're not going to make a profit on it because you can't even get your markup that high. So avoid it if you can. Also avoid stickers. Once again, stickers are not really great for flipping. They don't move fast. They're not fluid in most senses really at all, unless you have like a crown foil or one of those super desired stickers that is not on an item. I don't recommend it. And a very great example of me trying to flip an item and failing miserably is I had a stat track. Yeah, you heard that right. Stat track Bowie Black Pearl. And there's 3 things wrong with that and me trying to flip that. It was a stat track knife, And this was long before I learned these things, but it was a stat track knife. So I obviously learned that lesson there. It was a Bowie, which is definitely not a desired knife type. You can look up a knife tier list. I'm sure that'll tell you how most of the community feels on what knives are ranked where. And it was a black pearl. It's a very uncommon finish. You either love it or you hate it. So make sure to pay attention when you're withdrawing items, because that really can take you a long time to sell. Like, I took a week to sell mine. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today, though. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys found this useful. I'm sorry if it ran a bit long. I'm going to do my very best in editing to cut it down to just be the meat of information. And yeah, with that being said, one last thing. If you guys do want to try out the site, do want to support the videos that I make and the time that I take to make them, you guys can head on up to deposit in the upper right with this big green button. You can enter the code AG5. That'll get you a 5% bonus on every deposit you make, no matter what, except for CSGO skins. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, can't argue with free money. Everyone loves it. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.